Hi, this is Liz. We're going to make a cased card that I found and I thought it was really cool. It uses this new Dragonfly Dreams stamp set. I'm going to use the Misty to stamp the Dragonfly in VersaFine ink because it's a large stamp, and if I don't, I might not get the center of it depending on your stamping surface. This is a new photopolymer set from Stampin' Up! And it also comes with a, there's a bundle. You can get the dies to match, and there's several dies in the set. I made a mask and I stamped it, and I cut right on the black line for just the wings because you want to mask these off. I did stamp this on shimmery white because it's nice and smooth and takes the ink nicely for what we're going to do. So once you get this in place, cut on the black lines. This is Post-it. Here's the stamp set. So you see it's got a bee and the dragonfly. So we're going to sponge, starting in the center, with Daffodil Delight ink. And then I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie around the edge of that. So let them mix. And Melon Mambo. You want to get them to mix. This is Rich Razzleberry that I'm sponging around the edge now with. And finally, Pacific Point. Now I'm going to take the Island Indigo marker and I'm going to carefully remove those wing masks. They will rip in the center if you're not really careful with them. And I'm going to use the Island Indigo, and I'm going to use Tempting Turquoise. I colored in the spots on the body of the dragonfly also, except for the one in the center of his body. Tempting Turquoise in the center. And then I place the mask back on the wings because now I'm going to do the stamping all the way around it, and I don't want to cover up what I just did on the wings. Could have done this, I could have colored it first, but I wanted to leave the color underneath. So now I'm going to use the butterfly set. It's called Butterfly Basics, and we're going to use 3 of the set stamps out of there. One is the honeycomb stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in Pacific Point first. Now, because of the stamping surface I'm stamping on right here, it didn't take in the center of the stamp, but that's okay because this is like a collage type stamp, so I just kind of moved it and stamped it again and filled it in, and that's okay. Then I clean the stamp because I'm going to now use Rich Razzleberry, and I'm going to stamp it twice with Rich Razzleberry, one in the top left-hand corner and one in the bottom right-hand corner. Now I'm going to take the VersaFine, and you can use Memento Black if you want. Once you've done all your sponging, that's fine. And I'm going to stamp the postage stamp mark out of that set, and I'm going to stamp the fern in black around in different spots. And I'm also going to use from Sheltering Tree, the tree leaves, the dots from that, and I'm using the top edge of it or the bottom edge, one of the edges that has less dots on it, as you can see. Then I'm going to sponge just around the edge. I don't want to lose the blue, but I want to sponge a little bit of black. I want to darken up those edges. So I sponge in black around it. And then I'm going to use the white gel pen, the Singlo gel pen, and I'm going to remove the mask. I promise I'm going to remove the mask on the wings because you want to put white dots all over the wings. At this point, if you're not going to use that, we're not going to use the mask again, so you don't have to be as careful with it. I dotted his eyes again. I evidently didn't color in the body white part, but that's okay, just leave that. And as I'm dotting, I'm realizing that they're not really coming out really nice and clear and bright, which always frustrates me with these pens, but I have a solution, and you'll see that in just a second. You can see I'm trying to go over it again, and it still does not make me happy. So we're going to take this pen apart. I take a syringe. Now you can get these glue syringes, and there's no end, there's no needle in it. It's just like a glue syringe, but you can pop off the end. Stick it in the end of your pen, put a little pressure there, and as you can see, now all of a sudden my white dots start showing up. They say if you store these pens upside down with the tip down, they'll always work, but they don't, so that's what I do. Now I have a piece of baked brown sugar that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I just sponge around the very edge. I just want it to look a little dirty and distressed a little bit, so I'm just going to sponge around the edges with some black. I don't want to totally cover the brown because I like the brown. And then you're just going to mount that on the center of that baked brown sugar and then on the front of the vanilla card's front. Just like that. And that's your collage card for January.